Beakers lined in rows of steam, measurements like measured dreams. He reached to help, no words, no glance, just function dressed as circumstance. Our fingers brushed, a fleeting sank, a second's pause, too fast to think. But while I froze in static breath, he turned his head at someone's jest. A noise behind pulled at his gaze, while I stood locked in glassy haze. He held the flask, our hands aligned, but I was nowhere in his mind. He held the glass, not me. His warmth stayed in my memory, but all his focus floated past like I was just a grip not cast. I felt the heat, the shape, the skin. He never felt me sink within. Our hands had met, our thoughts had not. A touch he lived, a world I caught. He laughed at something loud behind. I memorized his hands' design, the lines, the pressure, how he gripped, while meaning silently just slipped. A teammate task, no deeper thread, while I replayed what wasn't said. He gave support, then moved away, but I still feel it now today. It wasn't love, it wasn't fate, just friction born from shared glass plate. But even seconds can ignite when someone glows beneath the light. He held the glass, not me, but still I froze electrically. No words exchanged, no looks to store, but something rang beneath the core. He missed the echo in my chest, the signal buried in the rest. He touched, then turned and left no clue, while I stood steeped in residue. Maybe that's all we ever get. One moment marked in silhouette. Not love, not talk, just proof I see. He held the glass but burned through me. He held the glass and let it go, but I still carry what won't show. His mind was lost in laughs and light, while I clung on to phantom tight. You don't need time to fall too far, just one warm hand, one fading star. He never looked, but still I knew. The moment passed, but it felt true. Red ink circled his quiet sigh. His fingers gripped the edge, not why. A score too low for how he tried. It hurt to watch the sparks subside. I stood unsure, a step away, with words rehearsed but tucked away. My hand half raised in quiet air, then someone else was already there. She smiled and tapped his shoulder twice, a rhythm soft, a touch so nice, and all my comfort turned to stone. Still standing there, but not alone. I didn't reach, I didn't speak. The moment cracked, then turned too weak. She touched him first, and that was all. I felt my presence start to fall. The words I saved were just too slow, and now their dust I'll never show. He smiled back, not seeing me, just her and ease and history. Held back, too late, frozen. My fingers curled in pocket deep, like keeping still could somehow keep the hope that almost dared to bloom before it vanished from the room. He said next time with half a grin. She nodded close, already in, and I became the empty space behind a gesture I can't chase. Too slow, a move not made, a kindness lost in silent shade. It wasn't wrong, it wasn't mean, just not my scene, not where I'd been. I didn't reach, though I was near. My hands stayed clenched with unshed to cheer, no blame to place, no lines to change, just timing playing out its range. The warmth he got, I meant to give, but sometimes love just won't outlive. A pause too long, a breath not spent, the hand I didn't lift, it went duck, 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 duck. La da 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 da. What could have been just brushed right past. Some chances break, they're not made to last. Still I stood with quiet pride and let the moment walk outside. I didn't reach, and maybe right, but still it hurts in softer light. He needed warmth, I had it too, but she was brave and I withdrew. No fire, no fault, just a beat. We're two paths met and I face defeat. The next test comes but not the same. I'll hold the hand or take the blame. Graphic dance beneath his hand, a silent world at his command, while I just watched from second row. Too far to touch, too close to go. His pencil carved a dream and still, while I stayed chained by my own will. I thought of lines, I thought of hay, but none would ever find their way. Then came a voice, a louder hue. She took the seat I never knew. He looked up once and gave a grin, a scene I couldn't enter in. I was the silence in the air, the breath that knew but didn't dare. I saw the space I couldn't claim and turned away to dodge the flame. He's just a desk and step away, but feels 10 skylines gone astray. She spoke and he responded clear, while I dissolved from front to rear. Still frame, mute script, unread. His hands in motion, mine somewhere, and I just dust behind a stare. The clock moved on, my thoughts stood still. I held back more than I could fill. No script, no cue, no reason why, just fear that trembled far too high. She asked what's that with cheerful ease, a line I envied on repeat. I wanted so to say hello, but courage runs where I won't go. He lives in light I never chase, so I just blurred and gave him space. I was the pause before a word, the thought that stays but goes unheard. She took the chance and filled the air, while I just breathed and left it bare. No fault, no fight, just faded hue, a love too quiet to break through. He's drawing dreams, she's in the scene, and I'm the space that goes unseen. One day I might just say a word and hope it's soft enough to be heard, but for today I play my part, the girl who watches from the start. I was the silence, I was near, the one who stayed from hope to fear. He didn't know, and that's okay, not every wish can find its way. She shared his world, I stayed behind, a fading echo in my mind, and maybe he will never see, but still he sketches something in me. He held the phone with steady grace, framing light on someone's face. I watched him smile from steps away. Too far to joke, too close to stay. Then looked at mine, my screen so black, no trace of him to take me back. I scrolled through shots of skies and shoes, but never once his afternoon blues. No stolen frame, no candid glance, just emptiness in full expanse. No photos of you and it hurts like proof I never touched your world first. You smiled so easy for her lens while I just watched the light descend. I kept you quiet in my chest, but now that silence won't let rest. The folder marked as every day has none of you, and that won't change. I must have passed 100 times where light and breath and silence rhyme, but never once I dared to snap, afraid the moment wouldn't clap, while she just laughed one more out loud. And he stood tall at ease, unbowed. They'll scroll back years and find that scene, while mine stays blank, a love unseen. You're not in frames, but you're in me. Each look I stole, each absentee, and now I wish I'd click just one to prove you live beneath my sun. And no photos of you, and that's why this emptiness won't even lie. You're not a file I can recall, just echoes pressed against my wall. She holds the proof of vivid smile while I just walk a blurred exile. You never knew you shined that way to someone who looked every day. Next time maybe I'll lift the phone and capture what I can't own, even if it's just to see the space where you forgot me. No photos of you, no saved light, but every heartbeat caught you right. The ones who smile for cameras glow, but I adored what no one knows. Your shadow lights behind each scene, unclick but vivid in between. And though the album stays untouched, you were the frame I loved too much. Paper fluttered in his grip, ink still fresh, his usual quip. He grinned and said with half a wink, special ones for girls who blink. Laughter sparked from those nearby, he passed them out with careless tie. Then mine arrived, no shine, no stamp, just folded plain in hallway damp. I held it like it might still change, but nothing shimmered in its range. His eyes moved on, the joke went wide, and I just stayed in neutral stride. Regular print, regular me, no gold, no mark, no mystery. He joked about a cuter crew, but all I held was plain and true. I laughed along, then looked away, pretending I was okay, but deep inside a quieter tone asked why I still felt this alone. She got the one with glitter swirls, he handed it like gift to pearls. I clutched my paper like it might still mean something if I held tight. He never meant to bruise or bite, but even jokes can dim the light. He didn't know what I had dreamed was just to mean more than I seemed. I told myself it didn't sting, but why'd I care for such a thing? It's just a sheet, it's just a day, then why won't this ache go away? Regular print, regular me, invisible and cute decree. I whisper sparkle print, no chosen flair, but still I showed up, still I cared. He'll never know how hard I fought to laugh while choking on the thought. Regular print and maybe fine, but not the kind that crossed his line. He gave the rare to girls that shine, while I stood still in grayscale time. And though my hands had just the plane, it held a storm I can't explain. Some jokes land soft but leave a scar, and teach you where you really are. One second and gone, like I was never drawn. He passed through me, not into me. A moment burned to silently. What's more than a flight? Lunch bell rang, the room went light. His head was down, no fight fight, no flight. A breath, a glance, a pocket rustle. My fingers shook in silent hustle. One tiny square, a minty blue. I placed it near his notebook too. Then walked away like nothing screamed. Though all my nerves lit up and beamed. The desk was still asleep intact. While I rehearsed my heart's contract. No name, no note, no grand reveal. Just quiet proof that I could feel. I was the rapper, never said that I'm the one who softly fled. He showed the gum and laughed that day, while I just smiled and looked away. My claim was gone before it flew. He never guessed, and how could he too? When kindness hides in subtle play, it fades like sugar lost in gray. His friends it just appeared and grinned like magic had come near. I sat 3 rows behind the chair, pretending not to even hear. He never checked and I stayed still, afraid of shattering the thrill. What if he knew and turned away? What if my words ruined his day? So I let silence take the win and swallowed back what burned within. A tiny act that didn't bloom just floated out across the room. I was the rapper in his hand, a fleeting trace he'd never planned. He spoke of someone with a grin, not knowing I was tucked within. No credit claim, no story told, but still my chest felt loud and bold. A love so small it stayed unseen, but lingered sweet in spaces between.
Whisper processed morning at sign.
Sometimes you give and don't confess. Just press your name in gentleness. No stage, no light, no me, it's me. Just let the sweetness set him free. I was the rapper, soft and still, the kind that love can never fill. But even if he'll never know, that moment's warmth was mine to show. He kept the taste, I kept the fear, but even so I still stayed near. Just glow alone in dark.
The train had sighed its final breath. I stepped half lost in weekday death. Crowds in gray and scattered steps. Then his voice and laughter swept. A crepe in hand, a different tie. Her sleeves too bright beneath the sky. I wasn't close enough to call, but close enough to feel the fall. He didn't see or didn't pause. My gaze had locked and slipped because the sting began behind my eyes. So I looked left and nodded why. I chose the exit not to cry. A softer lie, a quicker buy. No drama scene, no shattered sound. Just shoes that walked on different ground. He shared a joke, she laughed too wide, while I became the one who hides. And even tears betrayed my pace, so I escaped without a fade. They stood in sunlight I don't wear, a picture perfect public pair. And I became a shadow girl who dodged the frame, who left the world. The station lights were soft and blue, but nothing softened walking through a path I made to dodge the ache, as if the choice was mine to break. He didn't cheat, he didn't lie, he just looked happy passing by. And I, who never claimed a role, still felt the crack deep in my soul. I chose the exit not to feel, but still it hit a quiet steel. The girl he smiled at wasn't me, yet somehow I still tried to be. That crepe he held that hand nearby, rewrote the things I didn't try. So now I walk where no one looks, a ghost between two subway books. every beat my heart still dropped. A different girl, a different fate, and I too late just chose escape. I chose the silence, played it well, and left before I had to tell that even seeing him that way was more than I could take today. A creep, a smile, a voice not mine became the scene. I won't rewind. He never knew, and I won't show. Just walked away too far to glow. Door shut, a jolt, no space. The morning wrapped in stranger's face, but somehow fate had curved just right. He stood beside me, left to right. My bag pressed in, his coat brushed mine. The gap between us razor fine. I held my breath, my lungs betrayed. The silence loud, my heart replayed. He looked down, screen aglow, thumbs dancing soft in private flow. The station passed, I've barely blinked, while he just scrolled and barely synced. Next to him, but not in frame. A shadow pressed without a name. My heartbeat rang like warning bells, yet he heard nothing from these shells. So close I saw the glow on skin, but not enough to let me in. A world apart in one tight train where I exist, but not remain. The glass reflected both our shapes, but only one looked back through breaks. He smiled once, but not at me, just at some meme or memory. My hands were still, my voice was none. This moment came, then came undone. I wanted fate to look again, but fate just played his song, not mine. I counted stops like silent prayers, each one a step from maybe there. The ride was short, yet pulled so long. When you're unseen, you don't belong. I stood beside his unturned face, a glitch that never found its place. The beats I held inside my chest were never part of his request. So close the world could think we're close, but I just breathe what no one knows. His eyes were lost in glowing threads while I was stuck inside my head. Whisper process me and say, but all the sound was real to me. The weight, the light, the static hum, all screamed what I could not become. I was next to him, breathed aligned, but still outside his wired mind. He left that train not knowing who had shared a silence deep and true. Some stories bloom, some never start, but I still rode with beating heart. Not held, not heard, not seen through glass, just passing by. Too soft to last. The sun hung low through window lines, his name marked sharp in paper spines. One copy left, my hands were slow, still hoping time would kindly glow. Across the space, a breath, no sound, his desk a stage, my steps spellbound. I passed it on, the edge just brushed a fingertip. A lightning hush, he said, thanks, without delay. His eyes had drifted far away. No flinch, no pause, no glance to spare. Just ink and lines and classroom air. The warmth was mine alone to feel. His words moved on, the moment sealed. That second stretched like silent glass. Too thin to hold, too sharp to pass. He held the page but not my skin. No spark, no shift, no tremble planned. Andy Neklich drums of reverberated ambient piano fragments. Touch, not kept, just bad. He read the text, he missed the cue. The quiet weight I carried through. I watched his thumb brush past the place where mine had dared to leave a trace. The sky outside turned gentle pink while I tried hard not to think of all the touches left unheard, like melodies with just one word. Warped, that's how silence breaks, with subtle cracks in small heart quakes. A grace too soft to scream or show, but loud enough to never go. The warmth was mine alone to keep, a lonely flame too small to weep. No echo in his casual tone, just my own hand left overgrown. He said the lines he meant no harm, but didn't feel the ghost I warmed. The chill came after once he turned, a fire I touched but never burned. Just that grace, but still it replays endless days. His thank you wasn't cold or wrong, just too exact, too short, too strong. The warmth was mine and mine alone, a secret etched in skin and bone. He never knew what passed between, a barely there imagined scene. He turned away, the bell soon rang, but still my fingertips just hang. In that one breath I tried to claim a whisper that forgot my name. His post lit up at 4:03. Just tag my type, maybe you'll see. I tapped it twice before I read and wished I'd looked away instead. A girl in sunlight, bold and loud, center stage, she moves the crowd. Hair tossed like a melody, so far from anything like light. My fingers froze mid scrolling down, each line a weight that pulled me down. I don't wear laughs like bright perfume, I disappear in every room. I'm not the fire that he dreams, I'm paper quiet, stitched in seams, not made to dazzle, flash or shout. A silent note he writes around. I saw the post and felt the floor. The screen went dark, I closed the door. He clicked on type and found the spark, but left me waiting in the dark. Too bright, can't scroll, just hide. His world's in spotlights, wide applause, while I stay tucked behind the laws of quiet girls who don't take space, just trace their crush in lowercase. He wants the kind who jumps in waves while I write names inside of caves. If I spoke louder, would he hear, or just pull further into cheer? The phone was warm but felt like ice. A swipe became a sacrifice, to know and see but not belong, to fade while others play his song. I'm not the spark he wants to chase, not light enough to take up space. My quiet hands, my careful tone, were never built to be well known. I shut the screen but still it stays, a ghost inside my texting days. He picked a girl who blinds the room while I dissolve in silent bloom.
just mono vocals with vinyl noise and bit shifting. Maybe I'm not made to burn, but I still ache the same in turn. He'll never know the post he wrote was louder than my quiet throat. I'm not the post he wants to share, but I'm still here, I'm still aware. And though he'd never pick my part, I'll write the verse inside my heart. He wants a sun that owns the sky, while I stay low and wonder why. But even stars he'll never meet still shimmer underneath his feet. Bell tones breathy, falsetto fading out.
Same sheet, same key, same row, same breath. Our voices trained to blend till death. I thought the harmony might bend the space between us to a friend. He hummed the line just one beat late. I laughed inside, it felt like fate. Rehearsal spun through echo halls, and I believed we'd break our walls. The metronome would count our chance to trade a look, a sideway glance. But when the final rest was called, he turned and smiled at someone tall. I'm just a chord he doesn't know, a quiet note behind the show. Our voices touched but never eyes. I'm background to his sunlit highs. The melody might hold my name, but not enough to spark a flame. While I was breathing near his side, he found his joy just one seat wide. He asked for notes, not thoughts or me. I answered pitch, not jealousy. The girl behind with the ribbon tied, he caught her joke, I watched, I lied. I sang too loud in every take, hoping my voice might make him wake. But louder sound just makes it clear which voice is missing when you hear. The music teacher praised our tone, but I was duetting alone. He only turned when others clapped, not for the one who always matched. I'm just a harmony below the headline act, he'll never know. My heart aligned to every phrase, but he looked past in practice days. I sang the same, I stood as still, but notes can't change what hearts won't fill. And though we breathe the same warm air, his world begins one row back fair. Behind the chorus where I live, I only had my tone to give. But voices don't decide their place, they rise then vanish without trace. I'm just a layer in the sound, invisible though all around. No matter how I try to shine, the spotlight never crossed my line. He laughs a note that's not for me, but still I sing relentlessly. I'll hold the pitch, the line, the key, even if he never sees me. Breathy vocal click, tape flutter, and bit crush glitch delay. We laughed beneath the cherry sky, spring wind teasing shirts hung high. He said, let's take one more, just us. I clicked, I smiled, I dared to trust. The shutter caught a blink of frame, my cheeks too red to hide the flame. I thought this one he'd want to save, a soft, light-hearted microbrave. Stereo shifted vocal harmonies with with dub delay and modulated reverb. Back home phone lit, thumb swipe slow, a ping, a post, my face aglow. But what I saw was not our pose. Another group, another close. Emotional falsetto with glitch echoes, dream pop haze and reverse swell trails. Missing from the memory. Was I even meant to be? I pressed that shutter, stood so near, but I'm not part of what he'll keep dear. Tagged and framed in lines of text, where names and smiles just not mine next. The wind still smells of sunlit air, but now it stings 'cause I'm not there. Then that glitch drums was reverberating and ambient piano fragments. Snapshot. Delete. Me. Syncopated vocal stutters with lo-fi saturation and jazz pad chord. The photo's still inside my feed, unposted, small, a private need. A ghost I cropped, a truth I held, that maybe I was never spelled. His face looked brighter in that crowd. Maybe my voice was just too loud, or not enough to make a mark. A flicker lost before it sparked. Warped harmonizer effects and dub echoes, soft tine olive lift. I wasn't blurred, I wasn't flawed, just not the one he clicked or saw. The day was warm, the sky was kind, but kindness doesn't always bind. Layered, breathy vocals, shimmer chorus effects, stereo glide, and torch song swell. Missing from the memory. Was I part of history? The shot he chose to keep to share did not include my being there. I thought I'd linger in the frame, but maybe I was just a name. No filter sharp enough to prove that I had once been in that groove. Granular vocal cut-ups, ambient dub textures, lo-fi jazz chords, inexpressly perpetuous effects. Whispers in the digital sky, fragments fade while reasons lie. A smile held tight behind the lens, but never meant to transcend. Intense ambient swell, later glitch, a falsetto, emotional jazz chords ends. Stereo dream haze, missing from the memory, and that's how he remembers me. An empty space, a perfect day, where I just happened to walk away. If moments count and clicks decide, then mine was just the quiet side. Still I'll keep that photo close, the one that mattered to me most.
Bit crushed, glitch, delay, breathy hair and body. He turned his head when my name was called. My pen froze like time got stalled. 2 desks left and one to share, the kind of fate that's barely fair. I heard his laugh just once, then twice in perfect pitch with classroom lights. The empty seat between us sighed, but I was paired with someone else. Dear mine, close enough to read his notes, too far to catch the jokes he wrote. I bit my lip and scanned the floor. A chance like that will knock once more. Hearted beat cute like a loaded track. Play too soon, then snatched right back. 1 second more and it was mine. A rhythm lost to class timelines. I had the part, I had the name, but someone else took center frame. Now every let's begin feels wrong, like I'm lip syncing someone else's song. Login, pirate, failed. Start our system mismatched. He glanced once, was it just polite? I mapped that look in silence. Spite my partner asked me, what's this word? I answered blank like I'd not heard. The page looked foreign, lines all blurred. My mind replayed what never occurred. A version where I got that C and didn't fall back to defeat. They said
like it meant air, but I was breathing just to spare. This chair's too small to hold my weight of could-have-beens that came too late. Heartbeat cute like a silent scream, cut from a scene in someone's dream. The curtain rose, I missed my cue and watched my spotlight split in two. He laughs across the line so thin a gulf I feel beneath my skin. Now every red alive feels fake, like I'm trapped in someone else's take. Whispered maybe next time, thoughts pressed in margins, lessons lost. Chalk dust swirls where daydreams live, but teachers don't grade what you don't give. Heartbeat cute, but now I know not all rhythms get to go. The song rewound us all too late. We never even shared the fate. I speak in grammar, cold and tight, but what I meant got lost in light. A single desk could change my spin, almost my turn. It could have been. The post went up at 6:03. A filtered cheer, a field set free. He tagged a smile, a V-sign bright, the kind of day that caught the light. I tapped to zoom just out of fear and found my face was standing near. Not posed, not planned, not seen too well, just scenery where silence fell. She smiled like she owned the sun while I just blurred behind the fun. The caption glowed with team and name, but none of it had touched my frame. I was in the shot, but not the view. No tag, no like, no colored cue. He cropped the joy, he shaped the cheer, but left my presence unclear. Just a figure in the back, no part, no call, no heart to track. And while her name lit up the thread, I just scrolled through what he said.
Peace, Shutter.
Her voice made it. My face didn't. I tried to laugh to match the tone, but something echoed when alone. To be so close yet still unseen, to feel erased by the machine. He never meant to draw a line, but absence sharpens every sign. A ghost that stood beside the frame, but never made it into name. She was the one he meant to show, the one whose name the app would know. And me, just guy, just track, just blur, a passerby mistaken for. I was there but left behind in digital proof he wouldn't mind. The photo smiled, the moment passed, but I was written in as last. No heart, no pin, no secret code, just pixels down an unmarked road. And though I breathed within the square, he never knew that I was there. Maybe some lights are just too dim to register inside of him. Maybe I was meant to fade into the parts that don't get saved. I was in the frame, that's true, but never in the way. He knew a click, a post, a name lit up, and I just drank the silence cup. He captured fun, he captured glow, but not the girl who stood below. And in that crowd I disappeared, still standing close, but never here. chose to claim. So I delayed just one more line, let time erase the chance as mine. Click next week, thought no big deal, but silence told me what I'd steal. 1 week late, one step behind, a space I chose, a thought too kind. And in that pause a shadow slipped, another name, another grip. The book was gone, not his, not mine, just caught between a softer spine. I didn't lose it by mistake, I handed it away to fate. Reservation turns to none. My name's still waiting, his was done. Maybe he'd never even know. Maybe I'd just let feelings grow from ink and pages, quiet thought, and filled the blanks he never sought. But still the checkout log displayed how someone else had not delayed. She took it next without the fear, while I just stayed one shelf too near. It wasn't love, it wasn't loud, just wanting to be paper proud, to share a title line by line, but scared to show the one was mine. 1 week late, one choice too slow, now someone else gets what I'll never know. He might have smiled, we might have talked, but I just stood while others walked. The binding creaked, the pages turned in someone's hands while I still yearned. And maybe I deserve that fate for choosing silence 1 week late. Keys had erased, fresh chances lost his place. All I did was step aside, but sometimes that's how chances hide. The shelf is full, the room is wide, but I'm still stuck just half inside. 1 week late and not much more, but something slipped beneath the floor. The book moved on, the page turned clean, while I stayed blurred between the scene. No tragedy, no grand mistake, just absence shaped by what I fake. And now I pass the shelf and wait, still reading dreams 1 week too late. Shoes on tile, the end of day. The sky was folding into gray. I reached the doors, no thought, no plan. Then saw him there, just one more span. His lips had moved just barely so, like secrets made from overflow. No sound, not yet, just held in air, but something warm was almost there. His eyes met mine, then halfway paused, as if unsure, or maybe caused to speak, to reach. But in that blink, another voice made something sing. He almost said what I don't know, but part of me won't let it go. Another girl had called his name, and he looked back without the flame. That moment dropped between our steps, a half-formed thought the silence kept. And ever since my mind replays what wasn't said, those countless days. His mouth, my breath, no word. Some things are louder when unheard. She said his name, he turned with ease, like I was just a passing breeze. The door swung wide, the light fell thin, and I stood just outside the spin. Was it high, or was it more? Was it my name, or just before? Was it nothing? Was it real? Why does absence always feel? I never asked, I never will, but still that silence doesn't still. It loops like songs I never find, but hum beneath the restless mind. He almost said my name, a joke, a compliment. but someone else had filled the frame and left me staring at the same. A space where words had tried to start, now echoing inside my heart. And every time I pass that place, I chase a sound I can't replace. What he did not. A sentence stopped before its birth still holds me more than spoken worth. He almost said but turned away in silence, dressed the end of day. While she stepped in and stole the tone, he left me talking all alone. No syllable, no line to trace, just quiet pulling at my place. And maybe I'll never know why, but still I listen to that sigh. Sunlight spilled across the tray, laughter ran its lunchtime way. I sipped my tea, adjusted tie, just one more break to drift and try. Then suddenly his voice broke in a tone too soft to not begin. Did you cut your hair, he said, but not to me, to her instead. I smiled like it didn't sting, like air just brushed a minor thing. But fingers twitched around my brain as thoughts I didn't speak replayed. He noticed change, but not on me. The shift, the shape, the new to see. I laughed too loud, I turned my face as if the silence held more grace. She said just trimmed, he laughed along. Their moment neat, their timing strong. And I just tied my ribbon tight so he'd not see my hand too light. Was new, a different fold, the shade of me not bought or sold. I'd hope he'd catch the subtle bend, but I was background to his friend. His gaze stayed locked on where she sat while I made peace with less than that. My hands moved slow, too soft, too stiff, like hiding something from a cliff. He didn't mean to leave me there, he simply saw a different hair. But in that gaze, that fleeting sound, my silence cracked without a ground. He saw the light, but not on me. She wore the shift more naturally. My smile was built from practice script, while something small inside me slipped. I laughed like nothing went askew, but tried again what no one knew. And still the sun lit up her face while I erased my little trace. He spoke so light, so unaware of what it cost for me to care. But love is felt inside, glance fades, not always in the words he says. He asked, but not the girl he missed, and I just smiled through the twist. She answered sweet, the moment passed while I made silence gently last. My hand still trembled at the tie, but no one asked the reason why. And as the lunch bell called the end, I walked behind, not close, not friend.